Welcome back. This is Kirsten from JK Fiber Arts. This is Tour de Fleece Stage 11. Yesterday was a rest day, and we are going to be all about core spinning. I made this awesome bat with this. These are Leicester locks in here, and I left them all big and chunky on here so that they would hang out and make texture. I did not, I made the video on how I made this bat, and then I did not post the video. I figure maybe I'll do it in reverse order because I kind of forgot that I had done it. So I will put that up after we do this, since I'm trying to do this in real time. But you can see in the layers here, these locks are layered through in the layers. This base fiber, which I absolutely love, is like this peacock color. Such a beautiful kind of a fall color. It was already a woolen prep alpaca and merino. Actually, I think it's merino alpaca. I think it's 75-25 merino alpaca. And it's from Tamarack Farms, the place that I love at Sheep and Wool, and I just always lose my mind there and buy gobs and gobs of stuff. Well, I bought gobs of this color because I loved it. It's really, really soft. The Leicester locks are dyed really nicely, and they have beautiful sheen. Look at that lovely sheen. So I am excited to show you guys how to core spin. A quick word about core for core spinning. You can use anything you want for your core. I have done a lot of reading about the core because I always want the best core. And the bottom line is it just depends on what you want to do. So this is some 8-2 cotton that I use to weave with to augment some of my hand spun cotton for towels. I'm going to use that as my core. What matters is knowing what direction this was plied in. So there is a video that I did last year. Let's see if I can zoom in here super close. And that video talks about S and Z and how you determine what direction. So this was plied S. And the way I know that is the fibers are going this direction. And when I make an S, the body of the S goes that way. If it was the opposite, Z plied, then it would be going this way. So this is a 2-ply cotton, and it's plied in the S direction. So if I start spinning my core spin and I start going in the Z direction, I'm going to untwist this. And that is going to make it more difficult for what you want to do. So when I do this today, I'm going to be I'm going to do my core ply in the S direction so that I don't untwist this. Now, a different problem is that I have to be careful not to over twist this because then it's going to get all coiled up. One of the ways that I'm going to try to counteract that is by doing this as a 2-ply. So I'm going to do 2 separate core plies and then ply those together Z, and it should work out lovely. It also, when you do the 2-ply with the core ply, it will lock these locks into place so there's less shedding when you're using the yarn, especially this yarn, which I think I might actually knit. We'll see how it turns out. So I'm going to just split this in half, and then I'm just going to rip chunks off, and we'll get to this. The other thing that I do with my core is you don't need a tension lacy Kate. This is already on a spool, and I'm just going to use my yarn bowl and just pull it through like that. It's heavy enough that it gives its own resistance, and I don't think it's going to be a problem. Now I have my core squared away. The way I'm prepping this is I just ripped it in half, and the other one I'll do later. I'm just going to rip off chunks and throw them into my basket, and then I'll just take them out a piece at a time and spin them. Oh, that's going to be a good one. Look at that. So I'm just going to do this little bit of prep here. And remember, I have locks on the inside of here too. For this, I am going to hold my core in my left hand. So I have switched to my jumbo flyer because I want that bigger orifice for the yarn, which I think is going to be a little bit bigger to fit through. I'm going to firmly attach my core. I'm just going to tie it in a little knot here. All right. And remember, I'm saying this for myself too, that we're going to be spinning S. S. It's backwards for me. And here we have our first chunk. So when you do this, you want the fiber to be at a 60 to 90 degree, and you want to have a firm grip on your core, not like fighting the wheel, not letting it go on, pull it back kind of a grip, but a enough of a grip that it will be more taut, and the fiber in your hand, your locks, and your other fiber is just going to gently go along here, and then it's going to start to draw it on, and you're just going to let it wrap around and come out of your hand that way. That's a pretty good draw. We'll see. Let's take this out. All right, we might have to switch that up. And we're going to go in the S direction, and we're just going to catch it like this, and I'm going to hold this on. I'm sort of pulling down and letting this wrap on, and the goal here is for this to cover the entire core, so that you can't see the yarn that's underneath. I need a little less draw. I was kind of fighting it there. You see here I'm at that 90 degrees. And what I'm doing is I am allowing the fiber in my right hand, the locks, to just wrap around the yarn, the core. And I'm drafting a little bit downward. And so I'm holding more tension on the core, which is in my left hand, and less tension on the fiber in my right hand. I'll pull this out so you can see what it looks like. And my twist on here, it is pretty twisted. And the reason it is twisted, you can see how slow I am treadling and how quickly it's pulling onto the bobbin, and it's still twisting. That's because my yarn, my core, I am plying in the same direction. If I plied the other direction, then I'd have to go really fast because this core would literally be falling apart. The other option that I would have had was I could have taken the amount of yarn that I thought I was going to need, and I could have run it through on here in a Z-ply direction to take some of the twist out of this, but not all of it. Then when I was doing this, it would put it back in. And that's what I would have done if I was going to do a single. I wanted to do a little bobbin check-in with you guys. I wanted to show you, this is one of my favorite ones right here. Look at that. It's so cute. But you can see what this looks like. What I wanted to show you was how much twist has piled up here in my cotton. So you can see that, going the same direction is adding extra twist. I think what I'll do is I'm going to finish this single, and then I want to show you one with the twist removed a little bit. I think that that'll look pretty cool. So I will finish this single, and then the second half I will I'll do the core spin, but first I will run my cotton that I'm going to use onto the bobbin in the Z direction and take some of the twist out of it. What I want to show you is how much easier it's going now. The core that I am using, what I did was when I finished the first bobbin, I came back and wound, I just ran my core here through my wheel in the Z direction, so I unplied what I had. Now I will show you how I'm putting these locks in, and I will show you too, you can see there's much less twist on this. See how it's not backing up onto my bobbin, and there's a nice little bit of twist here, which is appropriate. So it's not as over twisted as it was on the first bobbin, and it makes a big difference. So I'm still spinning S here, and now I'm going to add in this lock. And what I'm going to do is I'm letting this wrap around a little bit like that, and then I'm just going to leave it up top there, and that'll catch in later. Let me grab the, and I can tease it out if it gets pinched in. And you want to make sure you're always keeping your tension on your ply here. And so that lock is going to just roll right up in there. I like this little lock. Let's see if we can just pop it out. That's cute. Let's keep that one out. If I can. Yep, we can. And what I did was I put my, now that was on a bobbin, I was able to put it on my Lazy Kate, so I don't have the big cone behind me either anymore, but it's going a lot more smoothly as far as not over twisting goes. And some of this I want to make it a little chunkier. If you wanted to go for uniform core plying or core spinning, you could absolutely do that. I've been trying to go kind of thick and thin, so it's more arty, bumpy. I before was the first bobbin has a lot of extra twist in it. Ooh, look at this pretty lock. Let's do this one. Oh, the other thing I did was I sort of deconstructed my bat just so it's easier for me for my second bobbin here. I deconstructed the bat so that I can just grab the lock when I want it, so I can add them in whenever I feel like it. Yeah, I like that one. But I still do have some locks mixed in with the bat. Same thing here. I'm just gonna keep putting this lock on and letting everything go in. And then that lock, when I come around applying, I can tease it out more if I want. So there it is, right there. I like that one. And that is all there is to it. It's actually really fun to core ply or core spin. And then I'll be back and show you what it looks like to ply these together. I'm just going to tease out a little bit on the end here since this one is still all intact. The one thing you don't want to do is let go of the tension on your core. There's my cute little lock. I want this to be a little thicker, but I don't want it to be too thick. Let's see. That should do it. Yeah, I like that. close and thin again. I'm just going to keep it on here, and I'm going to get all this onto this bobbin, and then I will see you back when we ply. Here is a little bobbin check-in on my second bobbin, and the twist in this one is so much easier to control. This is the core here. I don't know if you can see, it's hard to focus on through the carpet here, but you can see that unlike the other side, there is no twisting back on it. Let me zoom in a little closer here. So it's not all coiled up like the other one was. So that's working really well. And I'm pretty happy with that. The other thing I did was I deconstructed the bat a little bit. So here is the bat in pieces. And then any of the really nice long locks, I just pulled them out and put them in a bowl, and I'm just adding them as I go along. And if I come across one in here that I really like, I let that one stick out too. This is the end of stage 10. I will see you back tomorrow for stage 11 when we'll apply this together and see the finished yarn. Until then, spin happy.